Welcome back. Here with us on Bazaar Morning Call, and it's now time to boil things down to stocks. I mean, the implied open is suggesting a bit of a negative start because of the headwinds that we've got pre and post NVIDIA. Basically, in general, there's been a bit of a global equity sell-off. But what about individual stocks here back home? Our team is standing by with the CNBC-TV18 list of top stocks to watch. Guys, good morning. And Vamakshi, you have the big headline ahead of the AGM. The Reliance and Disney merger has finally got the approval of the Competition Commission of India. So tell us more.
Well, absolutely. It's a significant development for Reliance, TV18 as well. And that is because the company has finally received the CCI nod for the $8.5 billion mega merger with Disney's Indian media assets. The approval paves way for the largest deal in India's media and entertainment industry. And this transaction is expected to be completed in the last quarter of this calendar year or the first quarter of the next calendar year. However, it is important to note that this nod is subject to compliance of voluntary modifications, and we will have to wait for clearer details to emerge on those. Let's also revisit the deal that they had announced back in Feb. RIL, Viacom 18 and Disney India will be forming a JV. Viacom 18 will be merged into Star India. Reliance Industries will be controlling the JV and they will be investing 11,500 crores in it. RIL will own 16.34%, Viacom 18 will own 46.82% and Disney will own 36.84%. Neeta Ambani will be the chairperson of this JV and Uday Shankar will be the vice chairperson. Now this JV will bring together iconic assets across media as well as sports. This entity would boast of 100 plus TV channels and 2 online streaming platforms, which includes Disney Plus, Hotstar and Jio Cinema. They will also own broadcasting rights for all major sporting events, including the IPL, ICC, BCCI cricket matches, the Indian Super League, that is for football, NBA, Pro Kabaddi League, the Olympics, among several others. So overall, this bodes well for Reliance as well as TV18.
Okay, all right. Thanks a lot for that, Vamakshi. Well, let's hop across to Abhishek, who's here to tell us about SBI Cards. Abhishek?
Well, RBI has given out, the momentum with respect to credit card business momentum for the month of July. At an industry level, the card issuances are up 16.35% YOY for the month of July. And when compared to month-on-month, it's up 0.7%. Spends are up 19% YOY and 8.7% month-on-month. So spends have increased massively over here on a month-on-month basis. Average spends, if you calculate, per card, comes out to growth of 2.3% YOY and about 7.9% month-on-month. For SBI Card, the total card issuances is up 10.2% YOY and about 0.5% month-on-month. The spends have increased by 3.6% YOY and about 6.5% month-on-month. So average ticket size is down 6% YOY, but it is up 5.8% on a month-on-month basis. If you take a look, they continue to lose their market share in terms of cards. The market share is now down to 18.49% when compared to 19.53% on a YOY basis and about 18.53% on a month-on-month basis. Even in the spends, they have lost market share. It's now down to 15.56% when compared to 17.88% on a YOY basis and about 15.9% on a month-on-month basis. So expect the stock to be weak in trade today. Back to you.
All right, Abhishek, thank you very much for that SBI card for you. HCL Tech is the next one that we're going to focus on. Reema's got details here. Reema, good morning.
Hi, good morning. So HCL Tech held its analyst day yesterday, where the company sounded confident about maintaining a double-digit revenue growth over the medium term. So perhaps for the next 5 years. They said that the addressable IT services market is expanding, and the company is well placed because of the investments that they're making in AI, SAP, cybersecurity. They also spoke a lot about AI. The industry is at an inflection point with rising adoption of AI. In terms of the near term, the demand setting is a little more optimistic. They are seeing green shoots of discretionary spending coming back in BFSI. But on the whole, the company sounds positive about delivering industry-leading double-digit kind of organic revenue growth over the medium term. CLSA and Jefferies have a hold rating. Morgan Stanley is upbeat. Their target price stands at 1705 with an overweight rating. Back to you.
Okay, all right. Thanks so much for that, Reema. So we'll watch out for HCL Tech. On to Nimesh then, who's watching out a bunch of stocks, I think, because of expected block trades. Nimesh, I'm going to crown you block trade Badshah now, because you have all the buzz and all the covers. So tell us, which are the names today?
Well, Silvi, I'm focusing on PB Fintech and Welspun Living. Of course, the biggest deal will be IndiGo, which Sudarshan will highlight. But on PB Fintech, Tencent is selling 2% stake. They've offered the price of 1660, a 4.5% discount. And the Tencent is going to raise close to $190 million. Remember, there is a 60-day lockup for the seller after today's block. Well, I'll go with the green because it's a small block. Other one is Welspun Living. The promoter entity is looking to sell close to 4.5% stake. Even here, the discount is close to 5%, but I'm expecting the deal to happen in the block window. So if it happens in the block window, stock should react in the green. There, they're raising $106 million, and there is a 180-day lockup for the promoters after today's block. So two deals of $100 to $200 million each, PB Fintech and Welspun Living.
Okay, all right. Thanks a lot for that. Nimesh, always on the ball. Well, let's talk about Vedanta. That stock has been more or less flattish the last couple of days, and it's recovered considerably from the lows that it made. Well, they're going to be considering the third interim dividend on September 2nd. And just to give you a background, they've already declared 15 rupees of dividend in this year so far. Why are they going to be declaring this third dividend? Because in the last 2 weeks or so, they've raised some money. How is that? By the OFS of Hindustan Zinc. Via that, they've for their 1.5% stake, they raised close to 3,100 crores. Besides that, they're going to be getting dividend of close to around 5,100 crores from Hindustan Zinc. They paid out more than 8,000 crores because the stake Vedanta has in Hindustan Zinc. So they have a corpus of more than 8,000 crores to pay out. If they pay out the entire thing, that amounts to close to around 21 rupees on a per share basis. But Nuvama, well, they are moving with expectations of around 15 to 20 rupees on a per share basis. Other analysts are in that vicinity of around 10 to around 20 rupees. So expect the stock to open up in the green.
Okay, so the sweetness of a dividend expected to keep Vedanta in the green as well. Thanks for that, Nigel. Let's quickly move on back to Abhishek. Abhishek, you're watching for Aptus Value Housing and AU Small Finance Bank. What is the development here?
Well, Citi is holding a BFSI conference wherein, managements are talking about their guidance and how they see the way ahead. So, Citi has written on Aptus Value Housing the neutral rating with a target price of 358 per share. The key takeaway from the, conference for Aptus is that they will expand not only in Maharashtra and Odisha, but also, footprint in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh in FY25. 20 branches in these two states will be opened. They are confident of sustaining 28 to 30% growth in AUM, and they are targeting to increase the proportion of digital sourcing to about 25% from current level of 18%. They will contain the credit cost at about 0.3 to 0.4% for the fiscal. However, net interest margin can come under pressure by 10 to 15 basis points owing to rise in cost of funds. Now, Citi is also written on AU Small Finance Bank with a neutral call and a target price of 684 per share. The bank has retained their credit cost guidance of 110 to 120 basis points for the fiscal, that is FY25. They are confident that they can double their loan book in next 3 years, and deposit will not act as a constraint for growth. However, they are being cautious with respect to raising high cost deposits. ROA guidance has been maintained at 1.6% to 1.8%, and they will apply for universal banking license in September 2024. Now, earlier in the con call that they had for Q1 FY25, they had guided that they will apply for universal banking license in August of 2024. So a month of postponement has been done by AU Small Finance Bank with respect to applying for a universal banking license to RBI. Back to you.
All right. Abhishek, thank you very much for that. So that is the word on some of these names. IndiGo is the one, the big one, where there is this block. I think the size has been upped. So looks like there is enough and more demand. So Sudarshan is here with details. Sudarshan.
Morning, Prashant. So big block is launched to raise up to rupees 10,300 crore, and like last time, this time too, Rakesh Gangwal decides to increase the size, and this time the size is increased to 10,300 crore from rupees 6,750 crore. And through this block deal, Rakesh Gangwal, who is also co-founder of IndiGo, may sell up to 5.8% stake, and for the same, indicative price is seen somewhere around 4,593 per share, which is a discount of almost 6% to yesterday's closing price. And post this tranche of stakes, there will be a 150-day lock-in period for the next tranche of sale that will end in January 2025. And bankers for this deal were JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs. And if I talk about some of the alerts, since September 2022, that was the first time that Rakesh Gangwal had sold IndiGo's stake. So far, before this stake sale, today's stake sale, he has sold 17.23% stake sale, and post today's sale, total stake sale of Gangwal will be 23%, and that would be worth almost 27,000 crore. And post this sale, Gangwal will hold nearly 16% stake. Now coming to the stock performance, since September 2022, first time when Gangwal sold the stake, stock has surged 150%, and since the last time, that was March 2024, last tranche of stake sale, stock is up 51%. Just lastly, one interesting point, last time when he had sold 5.8% stake, he had raised 6,750 crore. This time, he's selling the same amount of stake, but raising more than 10,000 crore.
Wow, Sudarshan, that's fantastic perspective as well. I mean, really put it in context for us. And I wonder how Mr. Gangwal feels about it, watching the stock price soar after he's been selling down his stake in the company. Thank you very much for that. Let's see how that block progresses. So let's quickly recap the list of stocks to watch today, the ones that have positive news flow around them. Reliance Industries, TV18 Broadcast, HCL Tech, PB Fintech, Welspun Living, Vedanta, Aptus Value Housing, and AU Small Finance Bank. Stocks with negative news flow around them are SBI Card and Interglobe Aviation because of the huge size of that block trade that's expected. Well, that's on the equity side, the stocks to watch. Let's now move on to commodities and take a look at what the headlines are there like. We have Manisha joining us on the phone. Manisha, good morning. So there's a bit of a respite for the dollar index. It's recovering from the lows. What does that mean? I mean, and what's the overnight action like for commodities?
Well, there is some profit taking definitely happening in many of these commodities. And as you said, the dollar index gaining to 101. This is ahead of the second quarter GDP data from U.S. that comes in today. It also is about U.S. jobless claims data that comes in today as well. And then inflation numbers come in tomorrow. So the next couple of sessions are going to be quite important in sense of data watching. And the U.S. dollar index has gained ahead of that. Also, a 25 basis point rate hike from the U.S. Fed is now factored in markets. If anything more is what would give you a reaction. And if the dollar continues to gain, that could put some pressure as well. Today isn't such a great day for commodities because when you look at the crude oil prices, it's a second straight day of decline into the markets here. The China demand concerns are still there, and the U.S. crude inventories have declined less than what the street was anticipating. It also is a day of profit taking for gold, silver. They both fell overnight. For the metals as well. Remember, the previous week and most part of this week has been bullish for metals, but today is a day where you are looking at copper, zinc, aluminum, most of them trading slightly into the negative. It's marginally down, really. But the month of August, of course, is quite on the bullish side, but the day today has seen some profit taking.
Right, Manisha, thank you very much for that. So that's commodities and metals specifically in focus. We'll take a quick break here. We are back with Gurmeet Chadha, Managing Partner and CIO at Complete Circle. He'll be with us for some fundamental stock talk. Stay with us.